been a minute, but we are finally back, and we are talking today about the Seekins Precision 6-arc, their DMR. So apologies for the way I sound right now. I am pretty sick, but I wanted to get this video out there. So this is not a long-term review on this gun in the slightest. Okay, we've taken this out twice, and we have about 450 rounds through it. We've only had one major hiccup, and that's already been solved. We're gonna definitely talk about that today, but we're gonna basically overview what the gun is going to look like through the longer term review process. That way you kind of know what to expect, and then also just if there's any questions later, if anything changes, we can kind of look back and just compare what our experience was in both or all iterations of this build. Also, this is a sick gun, so we want to talk about it. Now, for starters, we did not get sent this gun. None of the parts were sent to us. We paid out of pocket for all of it. We are not a big enough channel to get free stuff like that. But anyway, we'll talk about the parts for right now. So on the front of it, the Cat's VB6, the Viking Bro 6. So this is a 6-arc can, but it is also able to be put on a 5.56 DMR or whatever 5.56 build you have. We right now have like a 6 or 7 port nano brake on the front. We don't intend to shoot it unsuppressed, so there's not much to say about that. It does its job to mount it. This is ported on the front. It is a low back pressure can, much like most Cat cans, if not all of them. It is an overbore can, so your blast baffle is actually about halfway through the can. Very normal for DMR specific cans, like your AEM5s or whatever the Otter Creek one is. It's pretty typical. It saves weight, or at least it balances the weight a little bit better towards the back of the gun. All that being said though, this is a titanium can, so it is very, very light. It doesn't honestly build up in heat super quick, at least our schedule of fire doesn't allow it to, and it cools down relatively quickly too. So if you guys, other than sound performance, it's great, but if you guys are curious about the flash suppression, we haven't done it at night or shot it at night, so if if you guys want that kind of video, we can totally do that. In terms of the gassing on the VB6, this thing rocks. We didn't notice any gas to the face. All of it just seemed to go out the front. Very pleasant to shoot. Volume wise, tone wise, it's pretty good. I should have some B-roll there for you. It is a left-handed turn to Titan, and it hasn't come loose on us ever. 18-inch stainless steel barrel. This barrel is fantastic. We had sub-MOA groupings when we were zeroing it. It's very accurate at range. In our experience, it's going to outshoot you or the shooter. So with that last range session we went to, I think it's Thunder Valley, the mile-long range, fantastic range. It does, we've been there a couple times, it does get really fast wind-wise through certain parts as you work your way up the range, but you start accounting for it, you start kind of getting used to it. And at 1,000 yards, this thing is a hammer. Once we got to 1,100 yards, that was the max we went to. I don't know if it was the wind or if that's when this gun really started to go transonic. It is an 18-inch, again, 6-arc. So it's kind of around that 1,100, 1,200 range where you start to experience that, and the repeatability does fall off. The gas block is adjustable. And during our first range session, which was very cold, we did have, I think, what were some break-in hiccups or maybe that combined with some temperature cycling as we shot it throughout the afternoon, again in the snow. The gun did start to get a little undergassed, and it was failing to feed, failing to extract, just because there was not enough gas going back into it. That was before we had the can, so keep that in mind, but we were able to take the rail off, adjust the gas block as we needed to. We put the rail back on, and it's shot lights out ever since. So more on that if we have any more to say on it down the line, but so far it's solved itself. And I think with how Seekins does their customer support and how good it is, we haven't had to use it, but I've only heard fantastic things. We'd have been taken care of if that that problem persisted. Atlas bipod underneath with an ADM mount, so this swivels very nicely when we do use it, but typically we are putting it on a tripod with the ARCA system. So this is from Annex Defense, this plate. The anodizing's kind of wearing off. I don't know if that's the Leo Photo like tripod mount doing that, but I don't know. It's worth mentioning. I don't know if you guys have had that issue, but they're cheap enough little parts that they're easily replaceable and they've done the job. So really not a complaint there, just a comment. The rail itself is fantastic. This is a very, very wide and flat underside of the rail. So you're going to, you know, if you put this on a bag or a barricade, it's pretty much not moving unless you do. And then what I do like actually is on the front of the mag well here, it's like very knurled. It's got some like knuckles into it. So if you got to slam it against a barricade or something like that, like it's going to be pretty stable. So like that rail quite a bit. There are 12 fucking set screws on it though. So we'll talk about the scope first. This is a Nightforce NX 2.5 220. So this thing is quite the beast, and it is like any other Nightforce scope. It's extremely clear. This one's in mils, so very easy to use. We use the Hornady app, so we're using pretty much exclusively Hornady black ELDMs, ELDXs, and then a couple boxes of Frontier just to see how that performed. And very easy to use. Plug in your data, plug in your ammo, plug in the build of the gun, and you're off to the races really with just moving up the line in range. This gun shot lights out to 1,000. So just 100 concepts, light caps, and scope caps, and a kill flash on the front there. Not, I know, necessary for everybody or at all, but it's at least nice to have it when traveling and just to protect the glass. So just another Nightforce piece here, the mounts, and then the diving board. We don't yet have a laser rangefinder for the top. So the bubble level, so this is actually an MDT level. It is an LED one, so make sure that thing's on. So you're using kind of, I hope you can see that, just an LED light to determine if you're level or not. And the reason that's useful is because you don't have to stop looking down at the scope when that happens. If you shoot with both eyes open or open your non-dominant eye, you'll be able to see that light, you know, with your left eye as you are looking down the scope. It's a quick tell. It's kind of just like a creature comfort thing. So that's nice to use. And then just an RMR up top in case you got to do stuff close up. So this is their NX15 receiver set. It's a billet receiver set. It's almost all ambi. It's got an ambi safety that's knurled, so it's kind of acts as like a sacrificial like thumb rest when you're shooting, which is great. Then it does have an ambi bolt release. It is not a catch. You just got a regular bolt catch on the back, and then it is a non-ambi mag release as well. Other than that, I like how it's kind of got this like machined out finger groove for your trigger finger. Charging handle appears to be ambidextrous. It's not. You still have to use that left latch every single time. So you do get a pretty big purchase on it though, so there's nothing to complain about really with that. The trigger, like the barrel, is probably one of the highlights of this build. So it's a Timney single stage trigger. I should have some B-roll so you can hear it really well. Fantastic trigger. The brake is, I'd compare it to Geisley. I'd call it better than Geisley really. Like, it is so light. It is so immediate when you're on it. You really don't have to like guess, like, is this thing gonna drop if I put any pressure on it? It's going to drop. And then the reset is the quietest, shortest little reset I've ever experienced. So if you're looking for like a precision gun, single stage trigger, this Timney is fantastic. And then finally, just a Magpul grip and a PRS stock. I think that's what that's called, with the comb. So it's a pretty high one. This is a 226 Nightforce mount. So it is a taller comb to account for that. Like, it's kind of preference at this point. I really don't give a shit about, you know, optic risers, this, and being too, I don't care. Like, just work with what you got. It's totally usable with while standing, or whether it's on the tripod or the bipod. Like, I've no complaints about it. And it's a good stock. You can't really adjust it, but once you have it kind of locked in for you, you're never messing with it anyway. A couple sling points and, you know, it's everything you need. I know there's precision 5.56 DMRs. There's certain builds that you can go with. It's just when you consider price point, like this is actually a pretty decently priced gun for getting out to that range, whereas your more DMR precision 5.56, a lot of those do go up in price because it does require that round, right? More precision to get more out of that cartridge. 6-ARC's a little bit more forgiving, I think at that range. It requires less of you and probably less of the build. It's just a better round for, I think, repeatability at that, 1,000 yards or so. That's just me. Whatever experience you guys have cartridge-wise, kind of in the smaller or medium size calibers, so like your 6-ARCs, your 6.5s, your 6.5 Grendels or Creedmoors, your 5.56. Like, let me know what you're using, because I am curious, just kind of compare how this cartridge stacks up, but also like longevity-wise. Like, is this a cartridge that's going to last?
Maybe.
I don't know. So we'll see. But so far, this has been really impressive on our end. So otherwise, yeah, this is basically just the overview. Again, we'll get into more on this gun. We could talk about the suppressor more in another video, the scope. If you got questions about that, anything, put it in the comments below. And we'll hopefully get back to you when this gun has around 2,000 to 2,500 rounds, just depending on timing. We'll definitely talk about this shit because this gun is awesome. If you are willing to support the channel, we are very close to my goal of 1,000 subscribers for the year. So if you're a return supporter or subscriber, thank you very much. We appreciate all the support we get. That's basically it. If you guys got questions, again, put them down in the comments. We'll see you in the next video. Damn. Fuck. Keep barking that, John.